Good morning, UPBOptionMillionaires.com. Just a few minutes before the opening bell on this Wednesday, May 16, 2018. S&P 500 futures are now positive after being lower just, 20 minutes ago. A massive rally here to the upside, heading into the opening bell. Furious rally. Getting back to levels we saw just a couple hours ago. The upside action continues into the opening bell. Relentless upside. We saw some really big swings yesterday. The market pulled back. We were down significantly right out of the gate. We chopped around, but amid this chop were some massive moves to the upside, the last of which came into the closing bell, but we held this 2,700 level for S&P 500 futures. Go back, that's just off the bottom of that breakout wedge. We held support there in the breakout, the long-term wedge that we were breaking out of here, the last couple trading sessions that went back to the pullback that we saw to start 2018. So we came down, tested support. Does this imply that the bottom is in here for S&P 500 futures? The VIX came up to that key now, 15 level. Remember that 15 level was so tough to break? We finally broke below it, and then yesterday came up to that 15 level. Before pulling back, the VIX is down over 6%, down to 13 and change this morning. So the VIX, we have S&P 500 futures bouncing off support. That's the positive signals we're seeing for this market. Look, the SPY ETF came down at a support from that same wedge pattern I talked about S&P 500 futures. On the flip side, we have the NASDAQ. I was talking about this when the market was pulling back at the start of April. You look at a post I wrote at OptionMillionaires.com talking about the long-term perspective for the NASDAQ QQQ. And you can see possible head and shoulders topping pattern here. Of course, this is really early, but that's the right shoulder. And the action stopped just the other day at 170. And that is where I thought it was going to stop when I was talking about it just about a month and a half ago. And you can see we came up to 170, rejected. Possible move back to the 150s. Now still, to negate this pattern, a break below the neckline would confirm it, but still early in this head and shoulder pattern. But that's something to watch. Also, small caps. You look from a long-term perspective here, coming up against trendline resistance. Hit a new all-time record high, pulled back. Actually beat it by about 7 cents. Possible double top in for IWM small caps. Again, remains to be seen here, but we're definitely closer to getting signals here for the market. The opening bell is here. I'm just going to go over a couple of the charts and then get to back to the chat room at Option Millionaires. You can see this XLE Energy, which is down almost 0.2% here right at the opening bell. So you come up to this level. This has been a point of resistance over the last 3 years. Look, some significant moves to the downside, namely the one to start 2018. So watch this level in some XLE puts. Domino's Pizza, which is down 0.25% here this morning. Rising wedge is bearish, also came up against resistance, so watch that one for downside in the short to medium term. Again, we're watching S&P 500. That 2,700 level on S&P 500 futures held. Look at some of the stocks that have been pulling back. FANG, the VIX is down 6%. Let's just pull up S&P 500 futures. And you see it came down to support here. We're up 0.12% here at the opening bell. I'm going to get to it in the chat room at OptionMillionaires.com. So that's real quick. Let's watch the NASDAQ longer term. The short to medium term here on the S&P 500 futures. As long as we hold this level, I think the market's going to move higher. We break below this, coupled with that head and shoulders pattern on the QQQ. Certainly be bearish in the weeks and months to come. UPBOptionMillionaires.com. Have a great trading day. Goodbye.